God bless you on this Monday. Pastor Chris Haughee. I hope you had a wonderful time in fellowship and worship with other believers yesterday. Here we are on this Monday, and we are continuing on the 20th day of Lent in our journey through traumatic triumph. And today's recentering activity actually happens to be the one that I chose a couple days ago with centering yourself with a few arm squeezes today. You cross your arms and grab at the upper arms and kind of work your way down. Since I just did this the other day, I'll kind of make it a little bit shorter than I did the day before. But doing that activity a few more times, repeating it, that squeezing and releasing of the muscles can be both centering and relaxing, allowing you to fully be available to what God would have you for this day in His Word. Today's devotional is called Loving Obedience, and we turn to the book of the second book of John, 2 John, verses 1 through 13 in the first chapter. We read there, "The elder, to the lady chosen by God and to her children, whom I love in the truth, and not I only, but also all who know the truth, because of the truth, which lives in us and will be with us forever. Grace, mercy, and peace from God the Father and from Jesus Christ, the Father's Son, will be with us in truth and love. It has given me great joy to find some of your children walking in the truth, just as the Father commanded us. And now, dear lady, I am not writing you a new command, but one we have had from the beginning. I ask that we love one another. And this is love, that we walk in obedience to His commands. As you have heard from the beginning, His command is that you walk in love. I say this because many deceivers, who do not acknowledge Jesus Christ as coming in the flesh, have gone out into the world. Any such person is a deceiver and the Antichrist. Watch out that you do not lose what we have worked for, but that you may be rewarded fully. Anyone who runs ahead and does not continue in the teaching of Christ does not have God. Whoever continues in the teaching has both the Father and the Son. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not take them into your house or welcome them. Anyone who welcomes them shares in their wicked work. I have much to write you, but I do not want to use paper and ink. Instead, I hope to visit you and talk with you face to face, so that our joy may be complete. The children of your sister, who is chosen by God, send their greetings." You know, love and obedience are not antithetical. These concepts are not opposed to one another or at odds with one another, as some might assume. Obedience, in the worldly sense, is something we believe must be coerced. Love is something that we think of as voluntary. But what if someone is lovingly and voluntarily obedient? What if I were to make myself lower than someone else and serve them as a choice, rather than out of a sense of obligation or compulsion? Doing so can change the dynamic of a relationship. The trouble that we can get into is thinking of every relationship as a transaction. And the currency of this relational economy is power or control. If that is our mindset, we will likely never be happy or fulfilled. Our longing for connection will be thwarted by our need to constantly assess where we are in relationship to the other in the struggle for power, for dominance. Another way to look at this love-obedience dichotomy is through examining the difference between alliance and compliance in interpersonal relationships. Compliance is about control, getting the other person to obey or perform in a way that is pleasing to me. Compliance is objective and measurable. It fits the transactional mode of many relationships that we have in life where we do not expect interpersonal connection. Compliance, however, works very poorly within intimate relationships where connection is desired and love is the expressed goal. Now, alliance, on the other hand, seeks mutual benefit, but not in the sense where we are keeping score and wanting to make sure that we get our portion of a limited amount of something. Speaking relationally, this could be time, attention, affection, or whatever holds currency for those involved. I think you can see how this is the compliance game just played with different terms. No, alliance seeks a mutual benefit where both people or a group of people are working together towards agreed upon goals. Any victory is a shared victory. Personal bonds are formed through reciprocated positive feelings of care, trust, and respect. The kingdom of God, the kingdom economy, runs on alliance, not compliance. Our obedience is the command to love one another, or our obedience is to the command to love one another. We enter into a community defined by self sacrifice for the other as a chosen lifestyle modeled by Jesus. This should prevent the possibility of abuse because our willingness to serve one another toward a common agreed upon goal is designed to keep one person from coercing another. If someone is operating within the community in a way that weaponizes fear and demands obedience, they are out of step with the command to love. They have broken the covenant and relational bond established by God for his people, the church. May we serve God and serve one another in the joy that comes from choosing to be obedient to the call to love one another extravagantly. Remember, a love relationship with God motivates our obedience, free from fear of compulsion. Other passages for contemplation today would be Psalm 81 and Genesis chapter 24, verses 1 through 27. May God bless you, and I hope you get started this week on a journey with God that is rewarding and feels like alliance rather than compliance. God bless you.